Hello, class. I know, I missed you too. I apologize for uploading this late. I was ill for a couple of days. Everyone, this is American English File, 2nd edition, Book 3, Part 5b, Love at Exit 19. Okay, so, as I mentioned, we're going to talk about love. Yes, you guessed it right. Now, I have some questions for you. Let's check the questions together. Now, the first one is, let me check. What is love? How important is love? Does love last forever? Are there any rules to love? For example, with you and your partner, do you have any rules? And do you love yourself? And should you do so if not? And how and why do people fall out of love? Yeah, sometimes love finishes very bad, right? And what would your life be like without love? So how do you feel without love? And the last question, is there a thin line between love and hate? Yeah, these two emotions are so similar. But is there a thin line? Can you hate the one you love? All right, it's your turn to take your time and answer these questions. And as always, you can also add your own questions as well. Well, it's time for you to speak with your friends and compare your answers. This is your gig. Now, that was a very productive discussion. But I have one more question for you guys. How do you think people usually meet friends and partners nowadays? Number the phrases from 1 to 5. 1 will be the most popular. Then compare with a partner. Do you agree or disagree? All right, I've mentioned some of them in pictures as well. For example, on the internet, on forums, on social networking sites, etc. At work, at school or college, in a cafe, club, etc. Or through friends. All right, I need you to number them and then compare your answers with your friends. Exchange your ideas. And by the way, where did you find your girlfriend or boyfriend? Share your past experiences. Now, it's time for part 1, reading. Everybody read and listen to an article about Sonia Baker and Michael Fazio. It's an Italian name, I think, or Fazio. Why did their relationship almost never happen? Okay, you know the drill. This is your turn. Read and answer the question.
A few minutes later.
Okay, you're back. I need you to listen and check your answers. Ready? Let's see what we got.
3.15 Love at Exit 19. He was a toll booth collector, and she was a soprano who sang in Carnegie Hall. Their eyes met at Exit 19 of the New York State Thruway when he charged her 37 cents. The romance that followed was even less likely than the plot of an opera. Sonia Baker was a frequent commuter from her home in the suburbs to New York City. One day, when she was driving to an audition, she came off the thruway and stopped at the toll booth where Michael Fazio was working. She talked with him as she paid to go through and thought he was cute. For the next 3 months, they used to exchange a few words as she handed him the money, and he raised the barrier to let her pass. It was mostly, "What are you doing today? Where are you going?" she said. They learned more about each other. For example, that Sonia loved Puccini and Verdi, while Michael's love was the New York Yankees. But their conversation suddenly came to an end when Michael changed his working hours. "He used to work during the day," said Sonia, but he changed to night shifts. Although Michael still looked out for Sonia's white Toyota Corolla, he did not see her again for 6 months. When Michael's working hours changed back to the day shift, he decided to put a traffic cone in front of his lane. He thought, it will be like putting a candle in a window. Sonia saw it, and their romance started up again. I almost crashed my car on various occasions, she said, trying to cross several lanes to get to his exit. Finally, she found the courage to give Michael a piece of paper with her phone number as she passed through the toll. Michael called her, and for their first date, they went to see the movie Cool Runnings, and then later they went to an opera, La Boheme, and to a Yankees game. They are now married and living in Kentucky, where Sonia is a voice and music professor at Murray State College, and Michael runs an activity center at a nursing home. It turned out that she had given him her number just in time. A short while later, she moved to New Jersey and stopped using the New York State Thruway. I might never have seen him again, she said.
Now that is a love story. And it happened by accident, but really interesting. So, why did the relationship almost never happen? Because Michael changed his working hours from daytime to nighttime. Yes, you're right. But we're not done yet. Now, I need you to read the article again and number the events in the order that they happened. For example, what happened first? G. Sonia talked with Michael. All right? What happened next? Put them in order.
A few moments later.
Okay. Now, before I answer it, check your answers with your friends. Very good. We did number 1. Number 2, Michael changed his working hours. All right, next one. They stopped seeing each other. Number 4, Michael changed his working hours again. Number 5, Michael tried to find Sonia. Number 6, Sonia gave Michael her phone number. Good one. Number 7, they had their first date. Number 8, Sonia moved to New Jersey. Number 9, they got married. Now, number 10, Sonia and Michael moved to Kentucky. All right, but again, we're not done. Now, don't worry. This is the last task I want from you in this reading, of course. Read the article again. Look at the highlighted words, all right? And try to figure out what they mean. I need you to match them with their meaning. I promise you, this is the last task from this section. Take your time. Do it. You will thank me later.
12 seconds later.
Okay, let's get this over with. Number 1, shifts, a period of time worked by a group of workers. Good. Number 2, a commuter, a person who travels into a city to work every day. Number 3, cute, attractive, good looking. Number 4, it turned out what happened was. Number 5, runs, manages. For example, I run this club. I manage this club. Number 6, likely, probable. Number 7, a candle, something that is used to give light, made of wax. Number 8, exchange a few words, have short conversations. Number 9, their eyes met. They looked at each other romantically. All right? Number 10, found the courage, was brave enough. And that's all there is to it for this reading. Now, everyone, I need you to listen to 4 people talking about where they met their partner. Match each one with a place from here. For example, A at work, B at school or college, C on the internet, D in a cafe, club, etc. Or E through friends. So listen and match. Let's do it.
3.16. 1.
Sarah and I met in college when we were cast in the University of New Hampshire Theater Department's production of Susanna Centeliever's The Basset Table. We met on stage at the Hennessy Theater during the first play rehearsal. We became good friends, and I started walking her home after rehearsal ended on most nights. We fell in love and continued to date each other throughout college. After we graduated, we moved to Chicago together to start a small theater company. Once we decided to get married, we moved back to New Hampshire and had our ceremony on the stage in the Hennessy Theater where we first met.
2.
Back in 2005, I was doing the online dating thing. But this is no online dating story. One morning, I received an email from a guy named Dan in Chicago. Apparently, he thought I was the perfect match for his friend Greg in Boston. I can't remember whether I was feeling really optimistic or really desperate that morning, but I agreed to email Greg. We exchanged a few emails, met, and got along really well. I thought it was amazing that Greg's friend was able to pick me out of thousands of women. Well, it turns out that Dan wasn't so amazing. He had actually emailed over 20 women for Greg on the dating site. So, to all of the women out there who didn't respond to Dan and take a chance on Greg, thank you. He is the love of my life, my husband, and soon-to-be father of my first child.
3.
Pete and I were both single, and we used to go to clubs together on Saturday night. But then he started going out with a girl who he had met at work. After a few weeks, he said to me, "Why don't you come out with us on Saturday? My girlfriend is going to bring one of her friends." To be honest, I wasn't all that enthusiastic about the idea. I'd never been on a blind date before, and I just couldn't imagine it would be a success. On the evening of the date, I was feeling very pessimistic, and I almost canceled. Pete and I had arranged to meet the girls in a club. We got to the club early, and I remember my friend saying, "Here they are now." I looked toward the door, and I thought, well, I really hope the girl on the right is my date. Fortunately, she was. The evening went really well, and 2 years later, we got married. Pete and his girlfriend got married too, and we're still good friends. We usually meet for dinner about once a month.
4.
I was born in Egypt to an Italian father and French mother, but we came to live in London in the early 60s when I was 20. I got a job in a bank, but I didn't have many friends. In those days, it used to be difficult to meet people if you were a foreigner. One evening, I went to a dance at a restaurant, and I saw this gorgeous 18-year-old girl get up from her table and start dancing. I thought I had nothing to lose, and I wrote her a note saying that I was standing by the window, and if she would agree to come out with me, could she please smile at me? I then left the note on her chair. When the music stopped, she went back to her chair, read the note, and smiled at me. That was how it all started. When we decided to get married, at first her mother was totally against the idea, mainly because I was a foreigner, and also I was 11 years older than Leslie. But little by little, she got to like me, and in the end, she treated me like a son.
All right, very good. Check your answers with your friends. Let's see. Speaker 1, B. Speaker 2, C. Speaker 3, E. And Speaker 4, D. You're right. Now everyone, listen to this story again and take notes on how people met. Okay? And compare your notes with your partner and listen again if necessary. And which meeting do you think was the most romantic? Okay? So you can rewind this. I don't need to play it for you again. You can rewind this, listen again, and take notes. Now, I have two questions for you, but first, look at these two extracts from the listening that we just listened to. We used to go to clubs together on Saturday night. It used to be difficult to meet people. All right, so the first question, when do we use used to? How do you make negatives and questions? And number two, how would you change these sentences using usually if you wanted to talk about present habits or situations? Okay, the answer to the first one, look, we use used to talk about past habits or states. For example, things that were true over a period of time in the past when you were a child, but are often not true anymore. The negative, didn't used to. For example, I didn't used to have short hair. I didn't used to exercise. And question, look, did you used to? For example, did you used to have short hair? Did you used to exercise? And number two, we usually go to bars and clubs together on Saturday night. It is usually quite difficult to meet people. That's how you change them. But wait, that's just the start. Let me show you the real gig. My friends, listen.
3.17. 1.
I usually get up at 8 o'clock during the week.
I don't normally go out during the week.
Houses in the suburbs usually have yards.
Do you normally walk to work?
2.
We used to go to the beach for our vacations when I was a child.
He didn't used to do any exercise, but now he runs marathons.
I never used to like hockey, but I watch it every week now.
We used to be close friends, but we don't talk to each other anymore.
That building used to be a restaurant, but it closed down last year.
Did they used to live downtown?
Didn't you used to have long hair?
Great. As you can see from the title, we're going to talk about habits from the past and present. Very good. Usually and used to. Look, for present habits, right now, we use usually or normally plus simple present. For example, I usually get up at 8 during the week. For past habits, we use used to or didn't used to plus the base form. Let me show you. For example, we used to go to beach for our vacations when I was a child. Okay? Now, used to does not exist in the present tense. That's very important. We use used to for things that were true over a period of time in the past. Used to often refers to something that is not true now. For example, look, we used to be close friends, but we don't talk to each other anymore. I used to play a lot of sports. I played a lot of sports for a period of time in the past, but now I don't. That's another example. Used to, didn't used to can be used with action verbs. For example, go, do, and also non-action verbs. For example, be, have. Non-action verbs usually show feelings and states. For example, I used to like vegetables, but now I don't eat them. Very good. And we can also use the simple past to describe past habits, often with an adverb of frequency. And another point, we often went to the beach for our vacation when I was a child. I lived downtown until I get married. These are the examples that you can use. Now, everyone, used to or simple past. Look, we can use used to or simple past for repeated actions or states, and the meaning is the same. Doesn't change. For example, I used to live in Miami as a child. I lived in Miami as a child. The same meaning. But if the action happened only once, or we mention exact dates or number of times, we have to use simple past. I went to Paris last year, for example. Jack caught the train to Chicago 4 times last week. All right. Any more and any longer. We often use not anymore or any longer, not now, with the simple present to contrast with used to. I used to go to the gym, but I don't go anymore, any longer. All right? Another point, be used to and get used to. Don't confuse used to, didn't used to, it's for doing something, with be used to or get used to doing something. They are different. Different meaning. I am used to getting up early every day. I am accustomed to it. It's my habit now. I always do it. So it's not a problem for me. Lola can't get used to living in the US. She can't get accustomed to it. It is a problem for her. Okay, so far so good. Now it's time to test your skills. As always, I have 2 exercises for you. First one, complete with used to, positive, negative, or question, and a verb from the list. For example, Sonia used to live in New York City, but later she moved to New Jersey. Very good. Part B, are the highlighted verb forms right, okay, or wrong? Correct the wrong ones. For example, Sonia used to see Michael every day. No, used to see. Okay, the structure is wrong. As always, stop the video, take your time, and do it yourself. I know you can do it. You're very talented. Now, check your answers with your friends. Compare your answers. Put your heads together. Now it's my turn to help you. Okay, one by one. Number 1. We used to have a lot in common, but now we're completely different. Number 2. I didn't used to spend much time online, but now I'm addicted to Facebook. Number 3. Did your fiancé used to wear glasses? He looks different now. Number 4. I used to go out with my classmates, but now I spend all my time with my boyfriend. Number 5. Where did your husband used to work before he got the job in the bank? Number 6. My sister lost a lot of weight. She didn't used to be so slim. Okay. Number 7. Did you used to argue a lot with your parents when you were a teenager? Number 8. I didn't used to like Japanese food, but now I eat a lot of sushi. Number 9. Laura used to get along well with her roommate, but now they don't talk to each other. And the last one, my ex didn't used to speak to me, but now he calls me a lot. All right, so far so good. Number 1, part B. His parents split up after he was born. So used to split is not correct. Number 2, it's correct. Do you usually tell a close friend about your problems? Number 3, my sister didn't used to want children, but now she has 4. So it's correct. Number 4, it's not correct. I didn't used to like my math teacher when I was in school. All right, next one. Number 5, it's correct. They used to go on vacation every year. Number 6, it's not correct. That couple has 3 kids, so they don't usually go out at night. Number 7, it's incorrect. Where did your parents meet when they first went out? Number 8, it's not correct. My husband used to work for a bank, but now he is unemployed. And the last one, it's correct. We love the theater. We usually go to a play at least once a month. And that's all there is to it. You're great. Part 3. Pronunciation and speaking. Everyone, linking. Used to, remember that used to and used to are usually linked and pronounced used to. Everyone, I need you to listen and practice.
3.18. 1.
I used to live in Los Angeles.
2,
She didn't used to wear glasses.
3,
Where did you used to work before?
4,
They used to see each other a lot.
5,
Didn't you used to have a beard?
Well done. Easy, isn't it? I need you to play it multiple times and practice. That's all there is to it for now. Let's speak in pairs, you and your friend. Tell each other about 3 of the following things. Give as much information as you can. How do you feel about these people and things now? So what are we going to talk about? This. Is there a kind of food or drink that you didn't used to like at all, but that you now like? Is there a TV series you used to be addicted to? Why did you like it? Is there a singer or a kind of music you used to listen to a lot, but don't anymore? Is there a sport or game you used to play a lot, but that you have given up? Is there a place you used to go during summer vacation and that you'd like to go back to? Is there a machine or gadget you used to use a lot, but that is now out of date? Take your time, write your answers, and speak with your friends. Share your ideas. This is your gig. And it's time for vocabulary. Relationships. Everyone, first, explain the difference between these pairs of phrases. What's the difference? Number 1, to meet somebody and to know somebody. Number 2, a colleague and a friend. And number 3, to argue with somebody and to discuss something with somebody. Okay, I want to give you some time. Check Google and get back to me.
6.5 hours later.
Okay, let's check them one by one together. Okay, to meet somebody, to see somebody for the first time, to know somebody you have met before. Next one, a colleague, a person that you work with, right, in your working place. A friend, a person you know well and like, and who is not usually a member of your family. All right, number 3, to argue with somebody, to speak angrily to somebody because you disagree with them. To discuss something with somebody, to talk about something with somebody, especially in order to decide something, to make a decision. Okay, you did good. But we just got started. Number 1, people. Everyone, I need you to match the words and definitions. Take your time and do it yourself. Yeah, you got all the time in the world. You just have to stop the video. Okay? Now, I need you to listen and check. Let's do it together.
3.19 Relationships. People. 1,
Couple.
2,
Partner.
3,
Fiancé.
4,
Roommate.
5,
Colleague.
6,
Ex.
7,
Close friend.
8,
Classmate.
All right, you did great. Verbs and verb phrases. Everyone, complete the sentences with a verb or verb phrase in the past tense. For example, look, meet, met. Number 1, I met Mark when I was studying at Boston University. Yeah, you can see it in picture number 1. Take your time and do it yourself. I'm gonna wait for you again. You can stop the video, of course. Now, let's listen and check together, shall we? Okay.
3.20 Verbs and verb phrases. 1,
I met Mark when I was studying at Boston University.
2,
We got to know each other quickly because we went to the same classes.
3,
We soon became friends, and we discovered that we had a lot in common. For example, we both liked art and music.
4,
We went out together in our second semester, and we fell in love.
5,
We were together for 2 years, but we argued a lot, and in our last semester of school, we broke up.
6,
After we graduated from college, we lost touch because I moved to Chicago and he stayed in Boston.
7,
5 years later, we got in touch again on Facebook. We were both still single, and Mark had moved to Chicago too.
8,
This time we got along better than before, maybe because we were older.
9,
After 2 months, Mark proposed, and I accepted.
10,
We got married last summer. A lot of our old college friends came to the wedding.
All right, you did great. But what do I expect? You're the best. You're my students. You can do it with your eyes closed. One more thing. Everybody, colloquial language. I went out last night with some buddies, friends. Informal language. I'm really into a girl I met in class last week. I'm attracted to her, right? Jane dumped her boyfriend last night. Dumped means told him that their relationship was over. My younger sister has a crush on Justin Bieber. Be madly in love with when you are young, okay? When you are naive. Now, one more thing. Phrasal verbs. My sister and her boyfriend broke up, split up last month, ended their relationship. My brother has been going out with his girlfriend for 2 years, dating. So these are some phrasal verbs that you can use as well. Now, think of one of your close friends in pairs, you and your friend. Ask and answer the questions. Let's check the questions together. How long have you known him or her? Where did you meet? Why do you get along well? What do you have in common? Do you ever argue? What about? How often do you see each other? How do you keep in touch? Have you ever lost touch? Why? When? Do you think you'll stay friends? Okay, you know the drill. Take your time and speak with your friends. Compare your answers. Exchange your ideas. Part 5. Pronunciation. The letter S. Listen to the words in the list. These words. How is the S or SE pronounced? Write them in the correct columns. All right? Listen first.
3.21,
Busy.
Close.
Close.
Conversation.
Decision.
Discuss.
Eyes.
Friends.
Lose.
Music.
Pleasure.
Promise.
Raise.
School.
Somebody.
Sport.
Sugar.
Summer.
Sure.
Unusual.
Used to.
Usually.
Various.
Great. Now everyone, these are the sounds. Snake, se, zebra, ze, shower, she, television, je. All right? It's time for you to listen and check. Let's do it.
3.22,
snake, s, close, conversation, discuss, promise, school, somebody, sport, summer, used to, various,
Zebra. Z. Busy. Close. Eyes. Friends. Lose. Music. Raise.
shower, sugar, sure,
television, decision, pleasure, unusual, usually.
Alright, and that's all there is to it for pronunciation. Great, you made it so far. Part 6, listening. Everyone, first, talk to a partner before we listen. Do you think the following are true or false? What do you think? What's your idea? For example, number 1, 22-year-olds have an average of 1,000 friends. Number 2, men have more online friends than women. Number 3, people who spend a lot of time on Facebook, or these days we have Instagram, become more dissatisfied with their own lives. What do you think? Write true or false. Okay? Now, I need you to listen to the introduction to a radio program. According to research, are 1 to 3 in A, this part, true or false? So listen and check your answers. Let's do it.
3.23.
Hello and welcome to Forum, the program that asks you what you think about current topics. Today, Martha Park will be talking about the social networking site Facebook, how we use it, how much we like it or dislike it. So get ready to call us or text us and tell us what you think. The number, as always, is 555-4318. Martha.
Hello. Since Facebook was first launched in 2004, a lot of research has been done to find out what kind of people use it, what they use it for, and what effect it has on their lives. According to a recent study by consumer research specialist Intersperience, the average 22-year-old in Britain has over 1,000 online friends. In fact, 22 seems to be the age at which the number of friends peaks. It also appears that women have slightly more online friends than men. And another study from an American university shows that people who spend a lot of time on Facebook reading other people's posts tend to feel more dissatisfied with their own lives because they feel that everyone else is having a better time than they are. So, over to you. Do you use Facebook? How do you feel about it? Can you really have 1,000 friends? Are social networking sites making us unhappy? Call in and share your experiences.
Okay, very good. So, according to the radio program, these are the answers. So, did you do them right or wrong? Okay, this is your choice. Now, listen to 4 people who call the program. Young, Beth, Emma, and Ned. 4 people. Who is the most positive about Facebook? Who is the most negative? So listen and write the most positive one and the most negative one. Let's do it.
3.24.
And our first caller is Young. Go ahead, Young.
Hi. Yeah, I use Facebook a lot every day. I think it's a great way to organize your social life and keep in touch with your friends. I have a lot of friends.
How many friends do you have, Young?
Right now, I have 1,042.
And how many of them do you know personally?
About half, maybe.
And what do you use Facebook for?
For me, it's a good way to get in touch with my friends without having to use the phone all the time. When I'm having a busy week at school, I can change my status so I can let my friends know I can't go out. That's a lot easier than wasting time telling people, "Sorry, I'm too busy to get together." It's just easier and quicker than using the phone.
Thanks, Young. We have another caller. It's Beth. Hello, Beth.
Hi. I don't use Facebook or any other social networking site.
Why's that, Beth?
Well, 2 reasons. First, I don't spend much time online. I play a lot of sports. I'm on a hockey team, so I meet my teammates almost every day, and we don't need to communicate on Facebook.
And the other reason?
I just don't really like the whole idea of social networking sites. I mean, why would I want to tell the whole world everything that I'm doing? I don't want to share my personal information with the world and become friends with people I don't even know. And I don't want to read what other people had for breakfast or lunch or dinner or what they're planning to do this weekend.
Thanks for that, Beth. Our next caller is Emma. It's your turn, Emma.
Hi, Emma.
Hi, Martha.
And do you use Facebook, Emma?
I use it once in a while, but not very much. I only really use it to keep up with friends who have moved abroad or live too far away for us to meet regularly. For example, one of my best friends recently moved to Canada, and we chat on Facebook. But I never add friends who are people I hardly know. I just can't understand those people who collect hundreds or even thousands of Facebook friends. I think it's just competition. People who want to make it seem that they're more popular than everybody else.
So you think the Facebook world is kind of unreal?
Absolutely. I think people write things and post photos of themselves just to show everyone they know what a fantastic time they're having and what exciting lives they lead. But they're probably just sitting at home in front of the computer all the time.
Thanks for that, Emma. We have time for one more caller before the news, and it's Ned. Hi, Ned. You'll have to be quick.
Hi, Ned.
Hi. When I started off with Facebook, I thought it was great, and I used it to communicate with close friends and with family, and I got back in touch with old friends from school. It was good because all the people I was friends with on Facebook were people I knew, and I was interested in what they were doing. But then I started adding friends, people I hardly knew who were friends of friends, people like that. In the end, I had more than 1,000, and it just became too much. It was just too many people leaving updates, writing messages on my wall. So last month, I decided to delete most of them. It took me about half an hour to delete, and in the end, the only people I left were actual, real-life friends and family, and old school friends. I got it down to 99. It was really liberating.
Thanks, Ned. And we'll be back after the news, so keep those calls coming.
All right, very good. So, the most positive person is Young, and the most negative person is Beth. But we're not done yet. I need you to listen again and answer with Y for Young, B for Beth, E for Emma, or N for Ned. For example, which caller does not want to share personal information with strangers? Y for Young and the other. Use the initials Y, B, E, or N for Ned. Okay, let's do it.
3.24.
And our first caller is Young. Go ahead, Young.
Hi. Yeah, I use Facebook a lot every day. I think it's a great way to organize your social life and keep in touch with your friends. I have a lot of friends.
How many friends do you have, Young?
Right now, I have 1,042.
And how many of them do you know personally?
About half, maybe.
And what do you use Facebook for?
For me, it's a good way to get in touch with my friends without having to use the phone all the time. When I'm having a busy week at school, I can change my status so I can let my friends know I can't go out. That's a lot easier than wasting time telling people, sorry, I'm too busy to get together. It's just easier and quicker than using the phone.
Thanks, Young. We have another caller. It's Beth. Hello, Beth.
Hi. I don't use Facebook or any other social networking site.
Why's that, Beth?
Well, 2 reasons. First, I don't spend much time online. I play a lot of sports. I'm on a hockey team, so I meet my teammates almost every day, and we don't need to communicate on Facebook.
And the other reason?
I just don't really like the whole idea of social networking sites. I mean, why would I want to tell the whole world everything that I'm doing? I don't want to share my personal information with the world and become friends with people I don't even know. And I don't want to read what other people had for breakfast or lunch or dinner or what they're planning to do this weekend.
Thanks for that, Beth. Our next caller is Emma. It's your turn, Emma.
Hi, Emma.
Hi, Martha.
And do you use Facebook, Emma?
I use it once in a while, but not very much. I only really use it to keep up with friends who have moved abroad or live too far away for us to meet regularly. For example, one of my best friends recently moved to Canada, and we chat on Facebook. But I never add friends who are people I hardly know. I just can't understand those people who collect hundreds or even thousands of Facebook friends. I think it's just competition. People who want to make it seem that they're more popular than everybody else.
So you think the Facebook world is kind of unreal?
Absolutely. I think people write things and post photos of themselves just to show everyone they know what a fantastic time they're having and what exciting lives they lead. But they're probably just sitting at home in front of the computer all the time.
Thanks for that, Emma. We have time for one more caller before the news, and it's Ned. Hi, Ned. You'll have to be quick.
Hi, Ned.
Hi. When I started off with Facebook, I thought it was great, and I used it to communicate with close friends and with family, and I got back in touch with old friends from school. It was good because all the people I was friends with on Facebook were people I knew, and I was interested in what they were doing. But then I started adding friends, people I hardly knew who were friends of friends, people like that. In the end, I had more than 1,000, and it just became too much. It was just too many people leaving updates, writing messages on my wall. So last month, I decided to delete most of them. It took me about half an hour to delete, and in the end, the only people I left were actual, real-life friends and family, and old school friends. I got it down to 99. It was really liberating.
Thanks, Ned. And we'll be back after the news, so keep those calls coming.
All right, very good. As always, take your time, no rush. Check your answers with your friends. Okay, number 1, it's Beth does not want to share personal information with strangers. Number 2, it's Ned has fewer Facebook friends than he used to have. Number 3, it's Young has over 1,000 friends. Number 4, it's Emma uses it to keep in touch with friends who don't live close by. And number 5, again, Emma thinks people use Facebook to give themselves more importance. Number 6, it's Ned used to use Facebook more than he does now. Number 7, Young uses Facebook instead of calling. And the last one, it's Beth does not use social networking sites. Very good. Now, I have a question for you. Do you use Facebook or any other social networking site? For example, LinkedIn, or we have X, formerly it was called Twitter, and Instagram, and of course, Facebook itself. Do you agree with anything the speaker said? All right, you know the drill. Time to exchange your ideas. This is your turn. I'm gonna listen. And this is the last gig in the house for today. Speaking. Read sentences A to F below. Check the ones you agree with or put an X next to the ones you don't agree with. Think about your reasons, okay? You should have a reason. All right, let's read them together. You can only have 2 or 3 close friends. B. Nowadays, people are in touch with more people but have fewer close friends. C. Men keep their friends longer than women. D. You should never criticize your friend's partner. E. You should never lend money to a friend or borrow money. And F. It's impossible to stay good friends with an ex-partner. Now, after you answer these, in groups, compare opinions. Try to give real examples from your own experience or of people you know. Use the phrases below to help you. For example, giving examples. For example, I have a friend who I've known since I was 5 years old. For instance, that's much more formal. For instance, I once lent some money to a cousin. All right, and that's all there is to it. Speak. And here we are, another one done. I apologize if I upload with delay. I was sick last week, and sometimes I just have too much to do, right? But I will try to do my best to upload on a regular basis. As always, if you have a question, you can comment down below, and I will try to answer you as soon as possible. And everyone, it's a marathon. Every day, just get better, little by little, little by little. It's the journey, not the destination. And if you like my work, why not like and subscribe and share? Be the light. You deserve it. See ya.